When I was 12, I was on a website and this person reached out to me and they were like, hey, join our chat room. I got really close to these people. I started cutting off all my friends. Eventually, I got really comfortable with them and they got me to flash them. So I flashed them, and then after that, that's whenever all the problems started.
Well, today's discussion is a warning to parents. And when I say a warning to parents, I'm talking to you. This isn't something that happens to somebody else. It isn't about something that you hear about on the news or you read in the paper or you hear me talking about someone else's child. If your child has access to the internet, they are subject to predators. And you think your child might not be a victim of this despicable crime that's happening in homes across America right now, but trust me, they can be. They can be right now. And they won't rush to tell you about this because they're embarrassed, right? They're ashamed. It's a crime that targets children as young as 5 years old. 5. Now, think about that. And you have to put yourself in their shoes because you think, well, I would tell people to go jump in the lake. Well, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. But when you're a child and you're thinking about, oh my God, it's called sextortion, blackmailing someone, often a child, for money, sexually explicit material, sexual favors, maybe all three. And the threats are not only just exposure, they showed you pictures of your house.
Yep, they would show me pictures of my house. They would threaten with all kinds of things.
So all you know, they've been sitting out at the curb taking pictures of your house. So at that age, you think, these people have been in front of my house.
Oh, yeah.
They have access to my parents.
They would name off my parents. They would name off my cousins, my family members, and threatening to send it off to them, or like threatening to get them involved, or, you know, just anything that they could do to hold against me, really.
And so you're embarrassed and ashamed here. So they said, we want you now to do something else, and then something else.
Yep, and then they record what I do to, like, on camera. Like, they'll be like, oh, take off your shirt. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do in the situation. Like, I'm crying. I'm like telling them I do not want to do this. Like I'll like hang up on them, and then they'll like start sending more threats.
They didn't ask for money. They wanted
they never asked
images.
Me for money.
And at one point they wanted you to cut yourself.
Yes, that was one of their fetishes, was me hurting myself. And so they would make me go on camera and cut myself. And it became an addiction, and it just kept on getting worse and worse, and I ended up in the mental hospital because of it. Yeah. I had to get stitches because I hit my artery.
Yeah, so they wanted you to go on and cut yourself, and they're watching this and videoing it. Mm-hmm. And you, of course, don't know what they're doing with the videos. Mm-mm. They just have them. And so then you got addicted to that, hit an artery at one point, so you had to...
That was what the picture was whenever I got the stitches.
Right.
And then I got put in the mental hospital for a while. But I never told anybody what happened. They would single me out. Like, they'd be like, oh, like, if people found out what you did, they're going to disown you. They're not going to love you. Nobody's going to, like, they're just going to disown you. You're not going to be relevant to them anymore. And you're not going to have a family. They're going to put you on the streets. Like basically that, like, when the FBI came to my door whenever I was 19, I'd never told anybody, not my friends, nobody, what had happened, like, in all those years of being blackmailed, basically every day.
So you're seeing therapists in the hospital, and you're talking about cutting, but you're not telling them why. You're not telling them you're being blackmailed. You're not saying anything.
I just would be like, oh, I don't know, I'm depressed. I don't know. I would be like, I don't want to be alive anymore. It's just like a very dark part of my life because I didn't want to tell anybody.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.